everyone. I decided today to do a open discussion. I had an idea, a topic that I wanted to discuss with you, and I will probably still make another video discussing that topic. And spoiler alert, it's third eye, and I just I thought that was an important topic, and it is an important topic. But right before I started my video, like I always do, I say a little prayer to the goddess and I ask her to guide me and to help me. And, I tell her to let, the thoughts come to me clearly, and that everything that I share that is correct and that it's pleasing to her. And, I always do that. And, not just with my videos, but in life in general, But I did that, and sometimes I'll meditate a few minutes. Sometimes I'll just say my prayer and jump right into my video while I've got everything on my mind, But just a few minutes ago, I decided to meditate, just a few minutes, just to get my head right. And while I was meditating, it came to me, and I knew it was the goddess, because ever since I've been about 14, when she's trying to show me something or reveal something to me, my cheeks will start burning. Like, you ladies know what I'm talking about, like you have a hot flash or you feel feverish. Maybe even like when you're in that special kind of mood, you get that heat sensation to your face. Well, that's the type of feeling it is. And as a teenager, I didn't quite understand what it was, or why I felt it, until I went to my grandma and I explained to her, and she was asking me, well, when you do that, is that when you're praying? Is that when you're meditating? Is that when you're doing spell work? And I explained to her, and she is the one that told me that it was just a sign that there was something to come, something from the goddess. She said, if you will, she said, your phone's ringing, so get ready to pick it up, And I love my grandma. I miss my grandma. She had just the funniest way of, explaining things to me. And as a child and as a teenager and then as an adult, she made it where I could understand and I could see. And, she didn't make things complicated. She was just very down to earth. She just was a very likable person, but she was a very smart person. And she taught me so much, not just on my path, but in life. She taught me how to be a good person. She taught me how to, how to love, how to live life to the fullest. And after she passed away, I kind of started forgetting these things, and I did at one point get to a very dark place in my life. But luckily, I met a special friend, and this friend and I just clicked, best friends, we just have the strongest bond, the strongest connection. And I told my friend before, I can see a lot of my grandma in this person, her personality and her traits, and even like some of her psychic ability and things like that, and just, her comical ways. This friend of mine, I'm just very thankful for this friend. But moving on, I decided after speaking with the goddess, that I was just going to do an open conversation. Just whatever comes to mind, that's what we'll discuss. And I apologize if you think that is, I guess you could say, unprofessional. I know some people think that I should have a topic prepared to talk about, and but I'm an Aries. I kind of like fly by the seat of my pants anyway, so this is me, but I don't know, I just felt the goddess urging me to just have an open conversation and just talk. So we're just going to talk today. But I did bring a couple of stones. I brought this nice little chunk of clear quartz, for clarity. And I brought this piece. I don't know if you can see it. The light's not so good in here, but it's a dragon's blood. It's a jasper, but I just really like jaspers. They're good stones, grounding, and this one here, it's good for your intuition and things like that. So I just thought it would be a good combo to bring, because originally I was going to talk about the third eye, and that's why I picked this stone and this one. But then when I decided to do the open conversation, I thought, well, those stones really have good energy for that as well, so maybe it was meant to be. And also I've got some it's blackberry spray. I think I've used it before, and it's some that I made, and I made it from the berry, the roots, the stems, the leaves. I used everything in it. And blackberry doesn't get enough attention in my opinion, but it's got a very good fragrance, a sweet fruity smell, but it's also got a really strong protective vibe to it, and it's used to cleanse of negativity. So I figured we would spray a little bit of that before we started. And it smells really good. But put our stones up here. But I thought I was just going to start off with talking about unintentional magic. I don't know why, it just popped in my head, and maybe because I had a conversation with someone about magic not being real, and this was my defense to that comment. You're entitled to believe whatever. That's just, the universe allows us, we can believe what we want to believe. We're lucky like that. No one tells us what to believe, what to think. We have free will. And, with magic, a lot of people don't believe in magic, and a lot of people don't practice magic or spell work, but this is my response. Those same people that don't practice magic, they're not aware of that they are practicing magic, and that's where the unintentional magic comes into play. Because, for instance, you don't believe, you don't practice, you don't do spell work, but your child, your spouse, your best friend gets sick. They're in the bed with the flu, they're running a fever, they can't eat, they're miserable, they're sick, and it's literally hurting your heart. You cannot stand to see this person that you love so much sick. You can't stand to see them going through this. You can't stand to see them not eating. They're running a fever. You can't stand it. When you see them in this condition, it brings tears to your eyes. You literally wish you could take that sickness into your body so they could be well and they wouldn't be experiencing any sickness or pain. And that right there, that thought of you not wanting them to be sick, that you would be willing to take that sickness in your body, that right there is the beginning of your intention being manifested. And then you go into the kitchen and you pull out your tray and you make or heat up some chicken noodle soup and you put it in a bowl. And you add a little salt, you add a little pepper, you stir it up, and then you think, this may be too hot, let me taste it. and you taste it to make sure it's not going to burn your loved one's lips, and you fix them a big old cup of juice and you taste it to make sure it's not too sweet. You know, you decide to make them a hot tea. You taste it to make sure it's not too hot. You add a little honey. You know, you're doing all these things to get this little tray of food just right for this person you care so deeply about, because they're sick and you want them to eat. You want them to heal, but you don't want them to experience any more pain or, you know, misery. So you make sure everything is just right. And then you take this tray of food to them and you give it to them and you help them eat it, and you feel their forehead, you take their temperature, you put a cold rag on their head, you just love them and, you know, get better. I can't stand this. Well, you just did magic, because you manifested your intention. Your intention was for this person to heal, for this person to feel better. You know, you wanted to take this sickness, this pain away from this person. You wanted nothing but, you know, goodness and, you know, no negativity, healing and love and positive energy. Well, you just did unintentional magic. You know, that was your intention, was for them to heal. Over everything else, for them to heal. And you did so from the heart. You did so with so much love, and you put your heart into the preparations that you were making, you know, when you were taking them that food. You just did magic. So for all these people that don't believe in magic and they don't do magic, you are doing magic. You may not know it, but you are. So that is unintentional magic. And that just, I guess that was just one of the things that popped in my head when I decided, let's do an open conversation. And, you know, the good thing about an open conversation is that, you know, all of these thoughts are just popping into our heads, and we're, you know, communicating them and we're talking about them. But at the end, everything is just going to come together, and that's the beauty of it. And I guess I didn't see that today. I was so focused on, I guess you would say, doing things by the book, that the goddess had to remind me that that's good. And, you know, we have to do that at times, but sometimes, you know, it's not by the book. Sometimes you can't make a schedule for life. You can't, you know, keep life in order. You can't, like, make a list of life and this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. I mean, that may work in some aspects of life, but overall, in general, life is just, it's life. It's coming, it's going, it's living, it's free. It's, you know, you can't put a leash on it. You know, life is just like a free spirit, and that's what actually life is, you know, that's our free spirit. And, you know, you can try to tame it, and you can try to keep it in order, and you can try to keep it on a schedule, and, you know, you can try to contain it, but it is, at the end of the day, a free spirit. And, you know, you may keep it pretty much contained, but you're not going to keep it completely contained. And I think that's what this whole topic of having a open conversation was. The goddess showing me, and then perhaps hoping, you know, that I can show you that, you know, you can't contain life. I mean, you live life. And, you know, and I know life comes in phases, and we live in phases. And then I was thinking, you know, maybe that's another thing that the goddess is trying to point out, you know, because like I said before, the goddess, she's everywhere. She's everything. She's in us, and we are an extension of her as well, but she's in the plants, the trees, she's in the air, she's, you know, she is everywhere, and she's everything. And, you know, so therefore she's always with us. We may not realize it, we may not even feel it sometimes, but she is always with us, just like a mom that's walking behind her child. You know, when that child is a baby, and that's us when we're a baby spiritually, you know, she's holding our hand tight. She doesn't want us to run out into traffic. She doesn't want us to get too excited and trip and fall and skin our knee. You know, she's holding our hand tight, and she's showing us the way, and she's, as we go, she's teaching us things, she's showing us things. But then, you know, as you get to a certain point and you begin to turn into an adult, you know, as you're growing and you're getting older and bigger and stronger, you know, she's going to let go of your hand eventually. She's going to still be there beside you just in case you trip. She'll catch you. And if something comes up and you just don't know what to do, she's going to take you and she's going to say, come on, come this way. Look at this. This is what you need to concentrate on. Let me show you. She's going to do that. And then finally, you know, you're going to become an adult, and she's going to stand there and she's going to say, I showed you what to do. I taught you what to do. So go ahead and do it. I'm just going to stand back here and watch you. If you need me, I'm here, but you go ahead, you know. And that's exactly the way a good parent, you know, teaches their child. That's how a good mom, you know, raises her child. And that's exactly how the goddess raises us. And, you know, it's through phases. Everything is in phases. And, you know, sometimes when a phase comes to an end, you know, we get sad or we feel cheated, or, you know, we feel like, but wait, I wanted to do more. I wanted to do it this way. I wasn't ready, you know, wait. But don't feel that way. Let that phase end, because then a new phase begins. And, you know, that's just life. That's how the goddess intends for us to live, is in phases. And when I was younger, I did not get that. I did not understand that. But now that I'm a little older, you know, and remembering things my grandmother told me, I see it so clearly now. And, you know, it's funny how when we're younger, we can't see anything. We are so blind. But then as we get older, it was right up under our nose the whole time. And I think that was, you know, another topic that she wanted me to bring up in the open conversation, the, you know, phases of a life. And, you know, I still wanted to do a discussion on the third eye, and I'm gonna do a discussion on the third eye, but just like, you know, your mom tells you, nope, not right now. That's what she told me today. So it's an open conversation. And, you know, I was thinking, you know, the unintentional magic and the phases of life. And then I was thinking, you know, what a better way to end on is to touch on acceptance again. And, you know, I did a video on acceptance way in the beginning when I first started. But, you know, I think it's important because I do this, you know, all the time. Everyone is always, you know, craving acceptance, whether it's the acceptance of your children, you know, wanting to look at you as a great parent, you know, a loving mother, acceptance at work. You want to be that good coworker, that dependable coworker, or acceptance by your spouse, that you want them to know that you love them and that you're dedicated and, you know, they're the one and you'll do anything for them. Or it could just be overall acceptance of everyone. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, because I think we should always try to put our best foot forward, you know. Image is a lot to do with, the way you carry yourself, the way you act in public. There's a time and place for everything. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm an Aries, and I'm very free-spirited, and I'm fly by the seat of your pants kind of girl, but there is a time and place for everything. I don't think you should cage, your thoughts, your emotions, your desires. I don't think you should cage that, and I did for a long time. But I think you should, open it up, and you should be free, but there is a time and place for everything. And I think even with acceptance, people need to realize it's not, what they think, acceptance of your beliefs, basically. Don't worry about what they think. They're not living your life. You are. And, at the end of the day, all you are really basically wanting to do is to live your best life, be happy, give gratitude, manifest your intentions, and, like I said, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's your way. So, you're the one that needs to accept yourself. So acceptance is just like, manifesting intentions, your belief in magic. Everything is within you. Everything. It's in your heart. Sometimes we let it fall down deep and we have to dig in there and bring it back up. But that's life as well. So, if you see that that's happened, just get in there and dig around and lift it back up and move on. And I know this was kind of unorthodox, unprofessional, but this is what she told me. She showed me, basically. She didn't tell me, but I see signs. I don't know how everyone else sees it, but this is what I saw, and it was just a quick, open discussion, and let's talk a little bit about this and a little bit about that, and we'll just kind of sweep it all together, and it'll come together in a big old pile. And so that's what we did, and I hope somebody out there got something out of what I said. And like I always tell you, all you've got to do is believe, and if you believe, you will receive. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.